Hi, my name is Poku Osei. I'm Projects Coordinator for Babasa Youth Empowerment Project, and I'm also the VCS Advocate for the Attainment and Progression Board, and that's Bristol City Council. I just want to quickly touch on a few things that has been raised in the past 2 months on the board to inform my other VCS colleagues about what's happening and the decisions that are being taken on there. During the first meeting, which was in March, the group touched on the potential for the city to have what they're proposing to be the city deal, which is essentially to help develop skills and infrastructure to make Bristol a better place, and not only a better place, to make it more attractive and drive investment. And this is to help Bristol as a core city meet its objectives. There was also a conversation about the Bristol Schools Report, which has been compiled by one of the board members, indicating showcasing the performance indicators for young people across primary school, right from early year schools to college. And the main indicators from the report was that BME young people in general are still underperforming, and the area of worry in particular was Black Caribbean boys, and that's not in relation to just other ethnic minority. That's not in relation to other, or should I say, white ethnic minority background. That's in relation to other BME groups in other cities. So Bristol is generally underperforming. So there was a clear worry there in terms of what we do about it as a city. And some of the indications or some of the recommendations that came out of it is for teachers and for schools to carefully look at how these students are being taught. That's one aspect of it, and also look at how these young people can be enthused about the course of education as a whole, in particular maths and English. An interesting point of view came across during the board meeting, which was for us as a city to engage our rather lively creative sector in trying to come up with the strategy or come up with some ideas as to how we make these subjects interesting to young people as a whole, and specifically targeting the BME ethnic minority groups. Also, there was a conversation around looking at the whole approach more carefully to try and identify the complexities around teaching BME young people. And one of the things that's come out is what we're calling the BEEP report, which again goes to affirm that teachers need to be a bit more careful when they're teaching, or have an element of have a clear understanding of what's happening within this environment that young people come from, in order to make sure that whatever they're teaching is structured in a way to suit them as well. And as far as implications for the voluntary sector is concerned, there was also a conversation about having a more unified voice from the voluntary sector about what's happening in the educational sector, whether that is by means of a series of meetings, series of workshops, a series of all the forms of dialogues that you can think about to make them well aware of what's happening in the educational sector that needs to be done. And that way, not only would one aspect of Bristol, as far as attainment is concerned, be trying to help with the situation, but we will be looking at it from a holistic from a holistic point of view. So I think those were the main points that were touched on, and I guess from my point of view as a VCS advocate, I would urge all of us to keep our ears to the ground, and once we receive, or I receive, any information that will be worthwhile to all the representatives, I'll make sure that that's passed through VOSCA and disseminated to the rest of us. Thank you. The next meeting has been scheduled for September, but because of leaves and a few other plans, it wasn't confirmed as to when exactly that will be. But it's going to come in an email, so once that comes through again, it will be communicated to VOSCA, and I'll be glad to have any inputs on the matter, or even if there is clarification that needs to be made out of this video, please contact ASMA or any of the VOSCA staff members, and they will get in touch with me, and I'll be able to provide some more clarity around what I'm saying. Thank you.